Hello students, good morning all of you. Once again, a warm welcome to the Computer Networks online session. Today, video number 31, which belongs to the unit number 4. I hope you guys all followed my videos of Computer Networks. With the video number 29, we successfully completed unit number 4. And in the last video, we covered the half part of the unit number 4 overview. Now with this video, we complete the complete overview of unit number 4. So from the next video onwards, you guys are watch unit number 5, right? Just rightly moving to the unit number 4. So I hope you guys all know the unit number 4 is the medium access control sublayer MAC layer. MAC is the part of data link layer. We already discussed it so many times. The data link layer is subdivided into two parts. The one is LLC, logical link control. The upper part of data link layer is LLC, logical link control, and the lower part of data link layer is MAC, medium access control. So the upper part LLC is connecting to the network layer, and the lower part medium access control is connecting to the physical layer. So here most probably we discussed about the path, medium, and channel allocation. These type of words and the techniques what we have to be discussed up to right now. So this is the syllabus what we covered up to right now in the unit number 4. So we divided the unit number 4 into two parts. In the first part, we discussed the channel allocation problems like Aloha systems and CSMA, carrier sense multiple access with collision detection and collision avoidance, and some of the protocols we discussed there in the first part. The second part of this unit we covered Ethernet cabling and also wireless LAN protocols, that is 802.11 and its architectures, and MAC sublayer protocols, that what we discussed in the second part. So in the last video we covered up to CSMA and some of the up to wireless LAN protocols. Now in this video we covered the Ethernet and the wireless LAN protocols. So this is the overview of second part of the unit number 4. In the examination point of view also, this unit is very much important for you because it consisting of very less syllabus and directly questions. There may be a possibility of asking directly questions from this unit. So if you guys observing the all videos and all the important questions what I posted and the lecture notes what I posted there in your Google Classroom, so which consisting of very less matter and very less amount of questions are there from this unit. So just possibly there is a possibility of asking the question related to either Aloha or CSMA or wireless LAN protocols, or if you complete the overview of Ethernet and wireless 802.11, you can easily write the questions what they are asking from this unit number 4. So you guys please concentrate on this unit, so which consisting of less syllabus and less amount of important questions. So there may be a possibility of more scoring in this unit, right? These are topics what we covered in the previous videos. Dynamic channel allocation in LANs and MANs. There we discussed station model, single channel assumption, collision assumption, and continuous time at the slotted times. So which belongs to the, I hope you guys understand, the continuous time and the slotted time. That is nothing but Aloha, right? And next carrier sense and no carrier sense, which belongs to the CSMA. So continuous time is the pure Aloha, slotted time is the slotted Aloha, and CSMA and CSMA with collision detection and collision avoidance techniques. These are the dynamic channel allocations in the LANs and MANs. Dynamic channel allocations in the LANs and MANs. And these are the multiple access protocols we discussed so many times in the past videos: Aloha, CSMA, collision-free protocols, limited contention protocols, wavelength division multiple access protocols, and the wireless LAN protocols. So pure Aloha, we already discussed. So this is the throughput of pure Aloha, and next slotted Aloha, which increases the throughput other than the pure Aloha. So the throughput for pure Aloha is 0.184 and the slotted Aloha is 0.368. So that means the success rate of transmitting of data frames of pure aloha is 18.4. The success rate of transmitting data frames of in the slotted aloha is 36.8. And next we covered CSMA, persistent techniques, collision detection, collision-free protocols, and limited contention protocols, and wavelength division protocols, wireless LAN protocols. So all we covered in the past video. Now in this video, so we are going to discuss Ethernet. So what is meant by Ethernet? Ethernet cabling, Manchester encoding technique, and the Ethernet MAC sublayer protocols, and the binary exponential backup algorithm, Ethernet performance, switched Ethernet, fast Ethernet, gigabit Ethernet. That's what we covered. So already we covered this Ethernet in the video number 28, right? There we discussed very deeply about this Ethernet. There are three categories in the Ethernet are there. That is, the basic Ethernet is the 10 Mbps cabling. That is called it as simply called it as 10 base Ethernet. And the second one is the fast Ethernet. So that is 100 Mbps data transfer cables they will have to be using. That is called 100 base Ethernet cables. And the finally last one is the gigabit Ethernet. That means 1000 Mbps. That means 1000 base Ethernet cabling, which is called it as. So there, so many type of cables we preferred here to connect different stations and transmit data from one location to another location. Why? Because there in the physical layer we discussed, so the physical connection establishment is required to transmit data frames from one location to the another location. Their data is accessed in the way of raw bits by using the physical layer. There onwards data moves to the data link layer, it converts as frames. From there onwards move to the network layer, it converts as the packets. That what we discussed so many times in the past videos. Like here in the Ethernet, which completely belongs to the guided transmission media. The Ethernet is belongs to the guided transmission media. So different type of cables we are using. Those cables are coaxial cables, twisted pair cables, and fiber optical cables. So many cables we are using here in the Ethernet cabling. So the first one is the 10 base Ethernet. That is 10 Mbps Ethernets. There are four categories are there in the 10 Mbps Ethernets. The first one is the 10 base 5, second one is the 10 base 2, and the third one is 10 base T, and the fourth one is the 10 base F. So 10 base 5 is the thick coaxial cable, 10 base 2 is the thin coaxial cable, and 10 base T is the twisted pair cable, and 10 base F is the fiber optical cable, and the segment range 500 meters, 200 meters, 100 meters, and 2000 meters. For 10 base 5, 500 meters, 10 base 2, 200 meters, and 10 base T, 100 meters. For 10 base F, 2000 meters, right? And the signaling technique, what are the topologies we used, and cable diameter, that what we already discussed in the past video. So you go through with the lecture notes for the better understanding of this 10 base 5, 10 base Ethernet cabling. So in this way, the connection has to be established here. The Ethernet cabling 10 base 5, 10 base 2, and 10 base T. For 10 base 5, we are using thick coaxial cable. For 10 base 2, we are using thin coaxial cable. For 10 base T, we are using twisted pair cable. So the Manchester encoding. This one is the switched Ethernet, very important one in the Ethernet cabling. There we use a switch and along which connecting to the hub. A switch consisting of so many connectors. So there the 10 base T connection, 10 base here the 10 base T connection by using Ethernet which connecting to hub, and hub is connected to so many hosts. So many hosts are connected to hub. So hub to switch will be connected by using an Ethernet cable. This is a simple example of switched Ethernet. And the next one is the fast Ethernet. So the difference between normal Ethernet and the fast Ethernet is there in the normal Ethernet just only 10 Mbps data transfer rate is possible by using that type of cables what we used there. But here the cables what we used here is which transfers 100 Mbps data rate has to be possible here. So there are three types of 100 Mbps Ethernets, fast Ethernets. The first one is 100 base T4, which using twisted pair cable, and 100 base TX and 100 base FX. There are, the original fast Ethernet cablings are these three. And the advantages are 100 base T4 cable advantage. It uses category of 3 UTP cables and 100 base TX is full duplex at 10 Mbps, and 100 base FX is full duplex at 100 Mbps, which works for long runs. For the long period, we prefer these 100 base FX cables. And finally, last one is the gigabit Ethernet cables. So this one is the normal Ethernet cable between the multiple stations, but this is the switch or hub we have to be using to connect multiple stations. A switch or hub we use it to connect multiple stations. So which is called multi-station Ethernet. Which is called multi-station Ethernet. There we prefer gigabit Ethernet. There are four categories are there in the gigabit Ethernet. The first one is 1000 base SX, second one is 1000 base LX, and the third one is 1000 base CX, and the fourth one is 1000 base T. And the cable what we prefer to use here is for 1000 base SX fiber optic cable, for 1000 base LX fiber optics, and for 1000 base CX two pairs of STP, and for 1000 base T four pairs of UTP is used. Right, this gigabit Ethernet cabling technique, and the IEEE 802 point logical link control LLC. So we discussed so many times about the LLC. LLC is the top, is the part of data link layer, which locates at the upper part of the data link layer and which is directly connecting to the network layer. So the packet from the network layer, first it moving to the data link layer, first it reaches the LLC. So there LLC is added to the original packet. Then after it reaches to the MAC, there a MAC address is added along with the original packet. Now the first one is position of LLC and the second one is protocol format. How a protocol is working for the packet transmission is, first a packet moving from the network layer to the LLC logical link control. There an LLC is added to the packet. There it moves to the MAC. There a MAC address is added to the original data packet. So this one is 802.2 logical LLC logical link control. And the next topic is wireless LANs, which is also the very important concept here in the unit number 4. Just only unit number 4 consisting of 4 concepts, that is multiple access protocols, Ethernet, and wireless LANs. So there in the wireless LANs, and the fourth topic is mostly the question from so many ways. So the wireless LANs is the first the 802.11 protocol stack and the 802. Physical layers. Some of the topics we discussed are the main services of 802.11. The first one is the 802.11 protocol stack. So 802. Protocol stack. So the physical connection establishment is done in two ways, either by using Ethernet cable or by using wireless connection. By using either physical connection, wide connection, or wireless connection. For wide connection purpose, we using either 10 base or 100 base or 1000 base Ethernet cables. That what we discussed in the past, right? For physical connection establishment, for wide connection, we preferred Ethernet cabling techniques, Ethernet, either fast Ethernet or that with 10 base at this one is the example. The cables we prefer to connect the systems to the stations. But here in the wireless environment, so these are the wireless protocols. 802.11 is the infrared, 802.11 FHSS, 802.11 DSSS, 802.11 OFDM, 802.11B is the HRDSSS, and 802.11G OFDM. These are the physical protocol stack of 802.11. So this one is the data link layer, this is the MAC sub layer, this one is the LLC logical link control, and upper layer network layer, transport layer, session layer, and upper layers are there here. So the part of 802.11 protocol is this is the example for that. And next one is the MAC sub layer. There two problems are there. One is hidden station problem. Second one is exposed station problem. We already discussed the hidden and exposed station problems in the past video number 29. The video number 29, we discussed the hidden station problem and exposed station problem. You go through with the lecture notes, you better understand the what is meant by hidden station problem and what is meant by exposed station problem. So here A, B, C are there. So B in the range of A and B in the range of C, but C not in the range of A and A not in the range of C. So here A and C are called as the hidden terminals. That's what we already discussed. And exposed terminal means there where in hidden terminal problem collision will be occurred, and in exposed terminal problem most of wastage of time is happening there for that purpose. These are the problems faced, hidden station problem and the exposure station problems, and the solutions are here. So we say sending RTS and CTS frames by using CSMA and CA collision avoidance technique. We can reduce the what the collisions occur in the hidden and exposure station problems. These are the max sublayer protocols and frame architecture for the 802.11, which we also discussed in the video number 29. So these are the main services provided by the 802.11. There are two type of services provided by the 802.11. First one is the distribution services. The second one is the intra-cell services. Distribution services and intra-cell services. The distribution services are association, de-association, reassociation, distribution, and integration. There are five distribution services are there: association, de-association, reassociation, association, de-association, reassociation, distribution, and integration. And the intra-cell services are the authentication, de-authentication, privacy, and data delivery. So these are very much needed services for 802.11. Authentication is needed. So without authentication, how can we trust the other person? And de-authentication and privacy to the data delivery. So this is the final summary of unit number 4. So what we discussed here in the unit number 4 is FDM is a dedicated frequency band, and wavelength division is a dynamic FDM scheme for fiber, and TDM is dedicated a time slots to each station, and pure aloha is random amount of time, and slotted aloha is the slotted time periods, and one persistent is the sense before transmit, and non-persistence is the random delay when channel is sensed busy, and p persistent CSMA is the CSMA but with a probability of p of a persisting, and CSMA CD is the but abort on detecting a collision, and bitmap round robin scheduling, binary countdown, highest number of ready stations go next, tree walk, reduced contention by selecting enabling, and MAC A and MAC W wireless LAN protocols, and the Ethernet CSMA CD with binary exponential backup, and FHSS frequency hopping spread spectrum, and direct sequencing spread spectrum, and CSMA CS means collision avoidance. So these topics we covered here in the unit number 4. I hope you guys understand the unit number 4, and from the next video onwards we will discuss unit number 5, that is after data link layer, which layer is there? That is network layer. So with the next video we are going to start, and we are going to discuss the network layer, what is meant by network layer, and what is the responsibilities of network layer, and what is meant by routing, how the routing tables are done. That what there are very interesting the unit is there. So very large and interesting unit is unit 5, that what we will discuss in the next video. So with this video we successfully completed and going to start the unit number 4, that is medium access control sublayer. So just to recall what we discussed in these 4 units is, so the unit number 1 is the introduction of computer networks. Introduction of computer networks. There in the unit number 1, we is mainly focused on OSI reference model and TCP/IP reference model. Along with OSI reference model and TCP reference model, LAN, WAN, MAN network connections and topologies. So these OSI and TCP and topologies, you guys write in the assignment 1. So OSI reference model, TCP/IP reference model, LAN, WAN, MAN networks, and topologies. Those are the important areas there in the unit number 1. And the channel allocations like communication links, half duplex, full duplex, and the communication establishment, that what we discussed in the unit number 4. And the unit number 2 consisting of combination of both physical layer and some part of data link layer, but we covered only physical layer in the unit number 2. Why? Because the data link layer is repeated in the unit number 3 also. That's why we covered the data link layer in the unit number 3 and physical layer as the unit number 2. But in the examination point of view, so if they ask 2 questions from the unit number 2, one from the physical layer and one from the data link layer, so data link, that much of importance is there for data link layer. So there are 2 questions from unit number 3 and 1 question from unit number 2. So there may be a possibility of 3 questions from the data link layer. So you guys have to focus on the unit number 3, that is data link layer. So here the unit number 2 is the physical layer. There we discussed about the guided transmission media, unguided transmission media, and MAC, FDMA, TDMA, and CDMA concepts in the unit number 2. Those are very much easy and important concepts. In guided transmission media, we discussed so many type of cables, twisted pair cables, coaxial cables, and the fiber optical cables. And the unguided transmission media, there the FDM, PDM, and CDM concepts we discussed there. And now moving to the unit number 3, that is data link layer. So data link layer mainly focusing on the design issues. So the design issues of data link layer, there I hope you guys write in the assignment. There are 4 design issues are there for data link layer. It provides services to the network layer, framing concept, uh, error control, flow control. Along with that, error detection and correction techniques are there, and some of the protocols we specially discussed for the data link layer, that is sliding window protocols in the unit number 3. Simplex protocols, simplex stop and wait protocols, in sliding window protocol, one bit sliding window protocol, go back and then sliding window protocol, selective repeat protocols. That what we covered there in the unit number 3. So unit number 3 is the heart of this entire syllabus. Why? Because in scoring point of view, but actually the backbone for this computer network is the network layer, that what we discussed in the next coming videos, right? I hope up to now you guys followed the computer networks videos well, and if you have any queries, feel free to contact me. And after watching the video, if you go through with the lecture notes, you can easily understand the concepts of computer networks. Okay, thank you very much.